This is a short demonstration of ghc-imported-from, a small utility that I've written for finding the Havoc documentation for a symbol in a Haskell source file. And so we can use it on the command line like this. We just call ghc-imported-from. We specify a Haskell file, the module that file provides, a symbol map, and the exact line and column number where that appears. And it will go and partially compile it and eventually give us this URL, which sends us to which is the Havoc documentation that was likely built for that module. If you don't have that, it will actually provide the URL to package.org for the equivalent HTML file. So while we can use it on the command line, that's quite a pain to specify all those parameters. So I've written a Vim plugin that lets you do this just with a single keystroke. So here we have a small Haskell file. We've imported data.list hiding map. So if we come down to there and hit F4, which I've bound to my function, which you see down at the bottom, it pops up the prelude for us. So if we search for it, it should be, there's the map. On the other hand, head is going to be the one from data.list because that takes precedence over the prelude. So we find that, and there it is. There's head. Qualified imports are okay. If we search for that, we get safe. And sometimes it's a little bit hard to specify from VI exactly what symbol you're trying to look up. So with this weird sort of less than $sign operator from control to applicative, we can visually select it. So if I hit V and then move the cursor over one, I've selected that in the visual mode, then hit Shift F4 and it will run it on that particular string that was selected. So then if we look for less than $, there it is. So it replaces all locations with the same value. So it's like a constant function. So that makes it easy to kind of quickly get to the specific documentation for something. It also works in fully sandboxed builds. So this is a YesOdd project that I've built in a sandbox, and YesOdd things often have many imports here. And you might be looking at that and think, where does pure actually come from? It could be the one you're thinking of, it could be some other one. So we'll hit F4 on that. And it takes a bit to look this one up because the YesOdd project has a number of language extensions turned on, like template Haskell, and there's many modules that have been imported. But when it eventually works it out, it's loaded in the wrong window, but we get control of the applicative there, and there's pure. So I'll just close that window. So if we looked up A form M, again it's going to take a little bit. And there's a sort of an issue with Haskell that you can have a module that exports a bunch of symbols from another module. So it's not always the case that the module you're looking at is the one that has actually got the thing that you want. So YesOdd.form is almost like a meta package here. And we have to actually click through once to get to that. And then if we look for A form M, we find it there. So it's not perfect, but it does kind of get you most of the way to finding the right module to be looking at. And for myself, one of the important things is that this particular project is built with a slightly older version of YesOdd, so it's got version 1.2 point whatever. And so it's taken me to that specific version, given that I'm working with this specific Haskell file. And so this is easier than having to go onto Google or Google and looking for the YesOdd.form module, and you get taken to whichever version, then you have to go back and have a look at which version your particular package is built. But with this, it's completely automatic that it works out the package that you have installed for this particular context. So yeah, that's basically it. To install it, you can get the latest from GitHub, or you can go to Hackage. And there's also links to the Vim plugin. At the moment there's no Emacs one, but pull requests will be gladly accepted. Thanks.